Hello, guys. Today we're in the Bronx Zoo. This is the first time we're visiting here, so we're excited and want to share our experience with you guys. And hopefully, we will see some animals.
When I came to zoo, you should see the animals rather than see the people.
So yeah, let's see. I went to the zoo last time when I was 12 years old in my country. So in New York, this is the first time both of us we are visiting here. So let's see, let's explore.
So she went to the zoo when she was 12 years old. Today you came like after 30 years. So
After 30 years,
so okay, so
I'm not 42 years. Okay.
so okay, have fun and enjoy the video. Okay, bye bye.
1.7 million years. ওর নাম হচ্ছে আর্লি গ্যালাগাস কাউ। ও বাচ্চা হচ্ছে গিয়ে 500,000। এর ব্যাপারে কিছু জানি না, কত হচ্ছে না নাকি মারা ফেলছে এর ব্যাপারেও জানে না ওরা। ও 500,000 বাচ্চা। বাচ্চা হচ্ছে 3.2 million years. ও বাচ্চা 3 million years. Does Lucy's skull more resemble? ওরা এখানে এই পাথর মোড়ে হয়ে গেছে। See that? Oh, 1.4 million years. পড়া যাচ্ছে? That's like a different crocodile. See that small fish? Look how small that fish is. Oh yeah. Stop.
Ready to take a ride on the wild side? Here at the Bronx Zoo, headquarters of the Wildlife Conservation Society, we're working hard to save wildlife in wild places around the world. Today I'm going to take you on a tour of Asia with stops in China, India, Cambodia, Nepal, and Tibet, all without ever leaving the beautiful Bronx. We've just traveled 7,000 miles to the wilds of Asia. The large honey-colored deer are called Barasinga. The word Barasinga means 12-tined in the Hindi language, as males will have 12 to 14 points on their antlers. The large white deer with the white antlers are Bactrian deer. They're the newest member of our monorail family. They're from Central Asia. We have 2 males and 4 females. We're also looking at India's national bird, the peafowl. We'll talk about them later on in the tour. These
On the crops. Elephants do not like chili and leave the farms alone, allowing the farmer and the animals to share the habitat peacefully.
We all know that an animal that's extinct is no longer with us, like the dinosaur and the dodo bird. The animals in our next exhibit were completely extinct in nature and could only be found in zoos. We're talking about the Mongolian wild horse, or Przewalski's horse. Sit down in the back, please. While there are genetic differences between wild horses and domestic horses, there are physical differences as well. They're shorter and stockier in build. They have an erect mane that's lacking the forelock, the piece of mane that falls between the eyes of a domestic horse. They're rocking the mohawk. They were born genetically awesome. Captive breeding of Mongolian wild horses began in 1901 with a herd of only 28 animals. The Bronx Zoo received our first herd in 1902, and we have maintained that herd ever since, with over 50 foals born right here in the Bronx, New York. We're happy to report that Mongolian wild horses are being successfully reintroduced into the wilds of Mongolia and southern China from both North American and Asian zoos. We're now going to hear from Jonathan Slatt, our Asian expert.
I'm Jonathan Slatt. I'm the Russia and Northeast Asia coordinator for the Wildlife Conservation Society. I believe that wildlife has a place on this earth. My job is to find practical solutions that allow people and wildlife to thrive together. Petrovolsky's horse went extinct in the wild in the 1960s. On a recent trip to Kazakhstan, I thought about the ongoing and successful efforts in that country to bring these horses back to the Central Asian steppe. The world needs happy stories, to watch the impossible become possible, and to see hope restored. And that's what's happening today with Petrovolsky's horse.
As you can see, we give our animals lots of room to roam, as we're still in the Mongolian wild horse exhibit. But I'll be able to pinpoint most of the animals for you today, even if they're not necessarily in plain sight. It's not difficult to do if you'd like to try. Just put yourself in their hooves and figure out where you would go for a shady spot to rest or a little grazing time. When we reach the top of this hill, we'll be on the lookout for two endangered species, the brow antler deer and the gaur. And the first we're going to encounter on this trip are the brow antler deer. They get their name from the male's antlers that look like two bushy eyebrows coming up out of the top of their head. They're currently classified as vulnerable, as all of their habitat has been taken over for farmland in their native Cambodia. When you see the fallen logs, there's one peeking through the hole right there. He's playing peekaboo. Peekaboo, I see you. They're currently classified as vulnerable, as all of their habitat has been taken over with that, and diseases they catch from domestic cattle. If the horns point straight up, it's a male. If they curve in at the top, it's a female. Most of the herd is female. If you spot the little golden brown one in the front there, that's a new baby gaur, 10 weeks old. It's easy to forget sometimes that the Bronx Zoo sits in the heart of an urban setting. But shortly behind us, you're going to hear the roar from the concrete jungle known as the Bronx River Parkway, even though at the moment we're traveling faster than the southbound lane. The large wooden fence in front of you obstructing your view is put there to keep back that traffic noise and help our animals feel more at home and calm. This is especially important since in the next exhibit, we're on the lookout for a tiger. Once again, please remain seated with all body parts inside the train. Tiger stripes provide excellent camouflage, and sometimes we have difficulty spotting our tiger. We're looking for a 700-pound Siberian or Amur tiger. He's right in the middle of the exhibit. In the wild, tigers will eat wild pig and deer, and pig he will. He'll eat 40 pounds of meat in one setting, and then not eat again for 3 days. That's the equivalent of 160 hamburgers. If you ate 160 hamburgers, you wouldn't eat for 3 days either. With less than 3,000 tigers remaining in the wild, and only 1,000 of them being breeding females, we're working with an organization called Panthera to increase this number. Tiger stripes are like fingerprints, no two are alike. That's how we tell our tigers apart. And they're solitary creatures and prefer to live alone. That's why you'll only see one at a time on display here at the Wild Asia Monorail. And between these fallen logs, you'll find some brow antler deer. You gotta look sharp, they blend in really, really well. Right there. We're now at the back of our first meadow. Little guys with the white bellies are black buck antelope, smallest antelope species in Asia, fully grown 2.5 feet at the shoulder. Males have horns, females do not. And lots more peafowl. You know, only the males are called peacocks, females are called peahens. They get together and make baby pea chicks. This time of year you can only tell a male from a female because the males have blue heads and the females have green. Those impressive back feathers are used for mating. Once they mate, they shed those feathers. They have free roam in the Bronx Zoo. You'll see them everywhere today, not just here in Asia. Here on the right is Kenneth, another male. They hail from the island of Sulawesi and are highly endangered. Now, if you didn't see the Barbarossa, have no fear. You can't miss our next lovely lady, as we're going to visit with Patty, our Asian elephant. The first thing you notice about an elephant is its size. They weigh approximately 10,000 pounds. Within its fruits, vegetables, 200 pounds of hay, and 60 gallons of water each day. Patty's giving herself a dust bath. It's an elephant's way of applying sunscreen. You know that twice a week she receives special baths and pedicures. As we say, 50-ish, 52, 53. Anywhere between 60 and 70. Callie tips the scales at a mere 3,500 pounds, but can achieve speeds close to 40 miles per hour. Despite this fact, rhinos are endangered because of their horn, which in some cultures is said to have medicinal purposes. As we drop down into the valley, we get extremely close to fences and trees. So once again, sit back, keep all body parts, camera parts, anything you ever want to see again,